What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right. So I know the video is really bad. I hope you can hear me. In fact, let me just listen to myself on YouTube to make sure it works here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I am live. This is crazy, isn't it? What we're going to do today is, let me make sure it's on Facebook. Okay. So, let me hit the record button. Hey, this is Joe. Lighting's really bad. Audio's not that great. I am back in the saddle. It's raining outside. I don't know if you can tell. I'm back in the saddle and I'm working again, right? So it's been a long, hold on a second there. The camera is, my studio is right over there. My office studio is right over there in my house area. But I had open heart surgery a month ago, so I'm just now kind of getting back into the swing of things and recovering. And this is every 1 or 2 weeks, I do a watch me analyze and do some deals, make some offers. And so I'm getting back into it. I've had some really good friends that have kind of filled in for me for the last month. And I won't mention them because I might forget a name. But 3 guys, well, Brent, Ray, and Matt, Dana, and people have been filling in for me. So I really appreciate that. So I thought, let's just do it again. But I'm not going to go over and set up a fancy thing in my studio. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it raw. How about that? So we're going to look at some land deals together. We're going to look at some land deals. We're going to tell you, I'm going to tell you what I would offer for these deals. And these are all deals that students have submitted to me in the past to review. And so I'm going to open them up here and then share my screen with you guys. And if nobody submitted any deals, then I have some ones of our own that I'll go ahead and share with you. This was submitted a little while ago, and I think I already reviewed it. But let's just go ahead and do it again. All right, I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get to it. Get jiggy, whatever that means. And I know it's probably offensive, so I'm sorry. All right, Prudence submitted this deal, and this is in Oswego County, New York. Here is the GPS coordinates. Let's look this up on Google Maps. And first thing I notice is what? Road access. Little unsure about road access. Let's look at satellite view. Next to Second Amendment Farm and J&M Gun Shop. That's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, there it is. Huh. Let's, you know, I've been using Landglide more and more lately. And sometimes it works really well and sometimes it doesn't. I have an APN number here. Let's try looking up that APN number on Landglide. Oops. Now they don't typically like dashes or periods or spaces. But it's not working, is it? Okay. There's another thing that I like to do is with MapRight or Land ID, ID.land or whatever. MapRight or ID.land, as it's now called, has a pretty robust tool to analyze and look at deals. And let's just pull this deal up. I know this was submitted over a month ago, and I thought I've already reviewed this, but I'm just going to do it again anyway. This is 6.5 acres. Prudence offered $6,800. This must be a typo. She thinks she can sell it for maybe $3,200 or $32,000. Her goal is to wholesale this deal. She wants to make 20 grand in profit. So I'm assuming this, she meant to say 32,000 instead of 3,200. And this is, let's just see back on this map. Where is it? If I zoom out, let's see what part of New York State is this in. It's north of Syracuse. Okay, they call it upstate New York, maybe near Lake Ontario, north of Syracuse. All right, so back here at Land ID, you go to create new map. Let's pick New York. Oh, sometimes you got to do it a couple times. There you go. And give it a second here, and it will flip over. Okay, let's go right here to latitude, longitude, shall we? I'm just copying and pasting the latitude, longitude, go. And here I can turn parcels on. All right. Yes, I remember looking at this deal before. All right, but one of my concerns is road access. Now, if you look at the plot map, it looks like there's some kind of road that is plotted out, right? But yeah, let's look at this here. So if I zoom back in, there is a road that kind of stops there. You look at satellite view. Again, I don't see a road that goes back there. Maybe there's a dirt road, hiking trail. This is interesting, isn't it? Because the plot map shows there's something going on. Now, the cool thing here, when I click on this, it brings up all the information over here. And there's a parcel ID, and it's this weird, long, funky number. Let's try looking this number up in Landglide. Nope. The thing I like about Landglide is it gives me the county, it gives you a link to look at the record of that property in the county records. I wonder if I can look that up by the owner's name. That's a unique enough owner. Let's just Google. I'm going to copy that whole name, go to Landglide, paste that name there. Oh, look at there. Took me right to that property. Okay, and there's a parcel ID number. Now, if you click right here, you get county link. And you have to create a username and password. Let's try this again. County link. All right, so it's asking me search by last name. Let's just do search for. Here we go. Sometimes the thing I like about going into the county's website, and by the way, whatever county you're in, you should always try to get familiar with the county GIS mapping system or their county website. You can go in and see for yourself. Here's the property, right? You can see lot acreage, 6.5 acres. See the assessments. They're assessing it at $4 grand. which is a good negotiating. Sometimes the assessed value is way less than the actual value of the property. And sometimes sellers will say, I'm not going to sell it for less than assessed value. So you could use that to, sometimes when you're negotiating. All right, now here you can see, you can view the tax map, pin property on the GIS map, view in Google Maps, and Bing Maps. If I click here, view tax map, let's see what that does. Brings up a PDF of this. And here's the property right there. So this is good because this is telling me, all right, well, this is from the county's website. Here's the road. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Here's the road. Here's the property. So it is, if I can zoom in some more here. There is some kind of easement for a lane or a road. All right, let's look at this other link, pin property on GIS map. Okay, that's the property there. Where's the zoom out button? Now it looks like there could be a road right there, doesn't it? In the satellite view, do you see that kind of a trail? Maybe it's overgrown. But it looks to me like there is legal access. That's whether it's, how easy it is to access. Sometimes you just don't know until you get it out there and start marketing the property. And if the buyer can't get to it, if the photographer can't get to it, the realtor can't get to it, this looks like there might be some kind of old road right here. And maybe some tracks. Your buyers, your realtors will tell you, I can't get to the property. Then you can go back to the seller, ask the seller, hey, what's going on? Do you want to, why can't we view this? The other thing is here on Land ID, you can change the different, how you're viewing it. If you click X here, you can do base map and you can choose hex aerial, which sometimes shows you a little different view. You can see if there's an old road or something. You can look at Google, infrared, which doesn't do much, MB satellite, NAIP. I don't know what the difference of all of these are, but if you look at hex aerial, sometimes you can see a little better here. All right, well, the other thing is we need to look at the terrain. Normally, if there is not clear road access, I just pass on the deal, not interested. This one might still work, but my price is I'm gonna be a little more conservative on my price on this kind of a deal. So, but we want to know the terrain. What's the terrain like? So I'm gonna click on the 3D button here. Is it on the side of a slope? Looks pretty flat in this area, doesn't it? Is it off of a cliff? That looks pretty good. I'm gonna hold the control key down and actually the control key. Yeah. Hold the controlled key down on my Mac and just kind of move around. It looks very flat. All right, that's good. One other thing I like to do here from Google Maps, let's go back. Let's zoom out. I want to see if there's any street views, Google Street Views in the area. I'm going to drag the yellow dude around here. Oh, look, there's a street view right there, right at that corner. If I zoom around, that's what the area looks like. Let's go back here to, let's drag the yellow dude. Okay, so it kind of stops right here, doesn't it? If I zoom to the right, that's the street. it says dead end, right? See that sign right there? So one of the things you would do is you'd call the owner of the house of this vacant lot and say, what's going on at this dead end? How did you get to the property before? And they may say, oh, it's not, there's a trail there. You know, they may say, here's the neighbor. Go ahead and give them a call and talk to them and tell them, you know, what you're doing. Second Amendment farm, agricultural producer wholesaler. Maybe they're super friendly. You know, but you know, you can you talk to them. The other thing is, you know, when you get a realtor to help you advertise this property, you find out the realtor will sometimes go up and talk to these neighbors. All right, so I'm okay with going through with this. I'm okay with making an offer. It's going to be a little more conservative because there's not clear road access. But looking at the county website, the county mapping system, and the plot map, it tells me there is probably legal access. If I find out, though, after I start advertising it, that it's really hard to get to, I'm probably either going to go back to the seller, lower my price, or just cancel the agreement. But I am going to try, at least try with this thing. The other thing I like to do, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal here, is I like to see, you know, is this in a floodplain or not? Go from map right. I can look at overlays, and I can see FEMA floodplain. I can turn that on. Okay, it looks good, which is interesting, isn't it? Because we are near that lake, aren't we? If I zoom out again, maybe there's a creek, dry bed. I don't know. There's some kind of creeks here. So we are right outside the floodplain. Not that the floodplain's a deal killer, but it's important to know, right? Then you can also see, you can turn off and on wetlands. Part of it isn't a wetland. Again, it's not a deal killer, but maybe at one time there was a dry lake there or a pond or something. Who knows? But floodplain. Yep. It's important to know this. All right. So what would we offer? What should we offer? Go back here to this property. It is 6.5 acres, 6.49 acres, right? What I like to do is look up these properties on Redfin. So let's go to Redfin. We need to find that property. How do we do that if it doesn't have an address? One of the things I like to do is here in Google Maps, that's an old, no, let's do this here. Let me paste the GPS coordinates. All right, there's the property. Let's zoom out. I'm going to zoom in until I find a house. All right, now you see these structures. You can right click on one of these sometimes. Let's right click on this one. What's here? And sometimes it'll give you an address. If I right click on here, what's here? Not giving me an address. Let's click on Second Amendment Farm. There's an address. Let's see if that address works. I'm going to copy that address, go to Redfin. I'm going to paste it there. Okay, cool. It takes me to that property. I'm going to click on this map. Okay, this is a property that's close to mine. My property is up here, but what I want to do is I'm going to click this map nearby homes for sale. Opens up a new tab, and it puts that property right there in the center of the map. And remember, ours is up here somewhere, right? So I'm going to put the property I'm looking at in the center of this map, and I'm going to start doing some filters. I'm going to say, all right, I only want to see land. Lot size, remember ours is 6.5. I want 5 to 10 acres. And let's see what we've got. There's nothing there because we're pretty zoomed in. Let's zoom out. Nothing so far. Zoom out again. Nothing so far. Zoom out again. Nothing so far. Zoom out again, still nothing. Zoom out again, one property. All right. It could be that my filters are too tight. So I could say, all right, well, show me 3 to 10 acres. Now I got 2. I don't like being zoomed out this far. Let's switch to solds. Past 3 months, 6 months, past year. All right. So let me sort this from low to high. Not that excited about this area because it just does not have a lot of activity. Not saying it's a bad deal, but my offer is going to be a little more conservative. I'm going to do, I want to do 5 to 10 acres. All right, these are my comps. These are the sold comps. About as good as I'm going to get. Let's look at actives one more time. Only one active property. Let's zoom out. Now we have some more actives. All right, so I'm going to do also a max price of 100,000. All I'm doing here is I'm just zooming in and out until I get enough active comps and enough sold comps. And if you have my course, I have a calculator I like to use. Let me open it up. Simple land flips. Miscellaneous. Land offers. Okay, I have a one of the tabs here at the bottom is called offer price based on Pebble Scraper tool. Let me kind of show you what I'm doing here. Looking at this, let's look at actives. I've zoomed out, maxed. I'm looking at only land. I've got 9 comps, all under 100 grand. And these are 5 to 10 acres. Let's do 3 to 10 acres. Okay, now I got 16. I feel like having more, but you see what I'm going to do here. And then look, because I did that, it gave me a 4.29 acres, which is good. All right, so there's this little Pebble Scraper tool. Hope you can see it. You know what? Let me do a new screen share. Okay. So there's a, when I'm in Redfin here, there's a scraper tool from Pebble. If you go to pebblerei.com, Jesse Kwon, really good dude. On this, he's got a good software. I don't use it. I use FreedomSoft. I like FreedomSoft better. Scroll down though, this thing pops up. You can get this little free Google Chrome extension add-on for free in Google Chrome. So what it does here is I'm looking at 16 comps. It's sorted low to high. I've excluded everything above 100 grand. And I click on this Pebble Scraper and I click Save All, and it brings all those properties over in here. And it gives me the average price per acre. Pretty cool, huh? I'm scrolling through this just looking for outliers. And some of these I'm going to remove, some of these big outliers. They're like 26,000, whatnot. So now my median price per acre for these 14 properties is 8,058. The median price per acre of all those actives that I just scraped that are in that window, with my property being in the center of that map, is $8,058. I'm going to put that right here. Those are active properties, right? Oops. 8058. 8058. That was my median price per acre. Now, average price per acre, I usually just look at both of those and take the lower of the two. That's how I do it. All right, now let's switch this to solds. Obviously, the more recent, the better. If I go 3 months, I have 10. If I go 6 months, I have 16. If I have too many, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, right? I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I only have 2, and let's go sold in the last year. Now I have 5. It makes me a little nervous here. I got to fly. Let me zoom out again. There's 33 now. I don't like seeing these really, really cheap ones. That kind of screws everything up. So what I might do is I might say, all right, show me, wow, 10 grand. But that, see how far away that is? 14 grand's real far away. I don't think I should ignore these, but let's do, all right, minimum, let's do minimum 10 grand. Now I have 31 comps, priced between 10 grand and 100,000 grand, between 3 to 10 acres. 31 comps. These are sold comps in the last year. All right, so now I do that Pebble scraper thing again. Clear all, and I'm gonna, there's 31, see that right there? I click save all, brings them all in. And I'm just looking at this now on the right-hand side, the price per acre. I'm just gonna kind of get rid of the really small ones and the really big ones, to just kind of remove the outliers, right? Like we don't need this 20 grand, 24, 11 million. Let's just get rid of those outliers. And here we go. Now I have a median price per acre and an average price per acre. I'm gonna go with the lower one. I'm gonna do 54.24 median price per acre of all of those 27 properties. 54.24. I'm gonna put that right there, okay? All right, my property is 6.49 acres. 6.49 acres. So 6.49. All right, it's 282,000 square feet. I want to make a minimum wholesale fee of 10 grand, and I'm going to pay a realtor about, let's pay the realtor 8% commissions on this thing. So the way this kind of spreadsheet works, the way I like to do it is I look at, all right, well, the active median price per acre is 8,058. When I'm looking at active comps, I always discount them by 80%. So my adjusted active median price per acre is going to be 6,400. So I discount them by 20%. Does that make sense? And my sold median price per acre is 5,400. I average those two. All right, so then I'm coming up with the value of the property is about $38,000 based on active comps and sold comps. Maybe that's too complicated for you. That's just kind of the way I look at it. When I list my properties, I want to make sure they're the cheapest in the area. So I'm going to list mine, 85% of that. I'm going to list it for $32,742. Now I'm looking at that thinking, all right, if I list this property for $32,000, what's my competition like? I'm going to go back here to Redfin. Let's look at for sales. All right, these are all the properties that are for sale. Mine's 6.5 acres. Am I going to be able to list my property for $32,742 for 6.5 acres? Well, here's 4.5 acre, 4.29, 4.25. Ooh, look at this. Here's a 7 acre currently for sale for 36.9. That's a little bigger, but I feel good, right? I can sell mine for 32 if this is my competition. So just looking at my pricing, I feel good about this, right? Here's almost 6 acres, 39.9. I'm in the ballpark. I'm not paying too much attention to these 4.25 acres. Let's go for it. All right, I'm going to list mine for 32,740. So let me kind of walk through this again. This is the way my brain kind of works. I'm looking at these spreadsheets that I do here. The active median price per acre is 8,058. Now, whenever I'm looking at active comps, I discount them by 80% or 20%, right? So my active median price per acre adjusted is that. And my sold median price per acre, it was up from up here, 54.24. So let's just average those two. My property is 6.49 acres. I'm like, all right, the value of the property is worth about 38 grand. Ballpark. When I list my property, I want to give a big discount. I want it to be like the cheapest deal for its size in that area. I want to sell it fast. So I'm going to list it for about $32,742. Now I want to make at least $10,000. I'm going to pay a realtor commissions. Let's do 10% realtor commissions. I'm going to pay the realtor $3,200. I have about $1,100 in closing, or $1,000 in closing costs. So there you go. I'm going to offer the seller $18,467. Now, if I was borrowing private money, which sometimes I do, I pay my investors anywhere from 8 to 10% on their money. So if I were to pay a private investor 10% of their money, it would cost me about $1,900 in interest. Then I'm going to offer $16,521. But sometimes I use my own money. It just kind of depends. So I'm going to offer $18,467. Now notice that is about 48% of the value of the property. If you follow the normal formula that I've done this for years, or I've taught it, is like, well, figure whatever the property is worth and offer 35% of that. Your offer is going to be, if I did that, you would offer 13,482, and you might get it accepted, but I'm offering a little bit more. So my chances of my offer getting accepted are going to be better than yours. So you really want to be careful you're not over 50%. That's kind of with the danger zone. You want to make sure you're under 50%. If the seller accepts my offer for $18,467, after closing costs, after realtor commissions, I'm going to make $10,000 wholesale fee. I'm cool with that. If you want more, you can make yours $15,000. Okay. Now your offer should be $13,467, which puts you right around the 35%. So it just kind of depends on what you want to do. But whatever, you've got to be looking at this thinking, all right, well, what should I sell it for to make this competitive? If I'm looking at this, just looking at the numbers, thinking, well, I should sell it for maybe 35,000. Because I want to be at the top of this list. I want my deal to be super attractive. I want it to be cheaper than everything else that's closer to me. All right. Kind of goes back to this. I have another tab here where it says, all right, well, just a quick offer calculation. If I'm going to sell it for 35,000, I'm going to pay a realtor 10% commissions. I got 1,000 in closing costs, $250 for pictures, and I want to make a minimum profit of 10 grand on this deal. I'm going to offer 20,250. That's real close to the other number I had, wasn't it? Yeah. You may say, oh, I want to offer 32,000. I want to sell it for 32,000, and I'd offer 17,550. Now, here's one of the cool things you should think about. Sometimes you can offer the sellers two different offers, cash and owner financing, right? So one of the things that I sometimes do is, and this may be on the second offer that I make to sellers, I might say, all right, my first offer is going to be 17,550. My second offer will be 35,100. So I might offer to the seller, I'll offer number one, I'll pay you cash 17,550, which is this number right here. Or I'll give you seller financing at maybe, I'll give you $30,000 seller financing. And I'll put 10% down. I'll pay them 6% interest over 5 years. Now you could change this. You can make it 0. Well, let's do this. Let's make it, I'll pay them double. I'll double the price. Now you got to think about this here, right? Is that going to work? If I'm going to buy it for 35,000, I have to sell it, right? I'm going to sell it for 37. I'm not getting enough cash flow there, am I? So I might do something like this. No, I'm looking at this thinking, I don't like this. It'd be 0% interest. So, okay, this is what so I'm looking right here at the monthly cash flow. I want to make sure my cash flow is good. I'm making at least 15,000-ish. So if the seller says no to my cash offer, I could offer them another offer at like 26 grand. I'll put 10% down, 0% interest, paid off over 5 years. You could do 10 years too, couldn't you? But 5 years. So my monthly payment to the seller will be $395. I'm going to sell it at maybe $38,000. I'm going to collect $3,800 from my end buyer. I'm going to charge them about 11%, 5 years. So I will collect about $750 a month. Now, that's kind of a big number. What if you did 10 years for both? I'm going to buy it 0% over 10 years, sell it at 11% over 10 years. So I'm going to pay the seller. I'm going to collect from the buyer 476. I'm paying the seller, I'm paying the seller 197. I'm collecting 476. After realtor commissions and miscellaneous closing costs, right? My cash flow, my monthly cash flow is going to be about $279. My total net profit is going to be about $29,800 on this deal. I wanted to show this to you, like there's different ways you can do it. It's either price or terms. So when you're negotiating with the seller, you could say, I'll give you cash, or if you want more, I can give you more. I might be able to get you your price if you do owner financing. And then you can structure this kind of deal. And you can set it up too, where your payments don't start until you start getting payments from your end buyer if you wanted. Or just set it up where your payments don't start for 6 months. There's a lot of things that you can do to make this very flexible. You could make your payment 0% over 5 years and charge to the seller, and then charge the buyer 9% over 5 years. This is the tricky part here. So, is it realistic to collect $700 a month from a buyer? And it just depends on the area. Okay. So I went into a lot of detail there. I want to see if there's been any questions that have been typed into Zoom or YouTube or Facebook. Good question from Joe. Do you use Priced for pricing your mailers? Sometimes. I'm working on, in fact, right now I'm working on a case study where I'm breaking down a deal that we did recently in Florida. We made a $23,000 assignment fee on it. I'm going to be breaking down how we found picked the county, how we got the list, the letter that we sent, how we made the offers. And then this campaign where I got this deal, we did send a blind offer, which I don't normally do. We sent a letter in the mail with a check in the envelope that went through. You could see the check through the window envelope, right? And that check got a lot of angry calls, a lot of responses, but we pulled out about 3 or 4 deals out of it from that letter that looked like a check, which is cool. And I'm going to be doing a case study and releasing that. I'll probably be recording it today or tomorrow, talking about that deal. It's really, really amazing. So on that campaign, I think I did use the price calculated offer number amount. When it comes to actually like making an offer to the seller, I look at what price said to offer, but I don't put much weight on it. Okay. Hope that answers the question. Cool. Thanks for the kind words. The masterclass you and Jerry are doing weekly is gold. I've learned so much info. That's awesome. Harrison's calling me a scammer. I don't know what's up, Harrison. I'm not a scammer, but if it makes you feel better. Are you still on here? Tell me why you think I'm a scammer. I'm just real curious. I want to show you guys something too. I'm doing these new videos with Jerry Norton that I think are awesome. Let me share my screen here. For those of you who don't know Jerry Norton, he's got a huge YouTube channel, only 452,000 subscribers compared to my 19,000 subscribers. But anyway, I flew to Puerto Rico a month ago, and we've just released part 3 of this video series on flipping land masterclass. And the feedback's been really, really good. And we have 8 videos total. And I dive deep into a lot of this stuff in these videos. So they're only released once a week. So this first one is, well, the first one was right here. Getting started flipping land, not houses. Just kind of a general overview. The second one we did was about finding the best markets. The third one was how to find the cash buyers, to find where are the buyers, and we talked about some free software that you can use for that. PropWire is one of the tools that he uses, and we talked about how to find good land buyers from PropWire. One of the things that we gave away in these videos was a really cool tool called Simple Land Kit. If you go to simplelandkit.com, nice picture of me there. Opt in here and you get this bunch of cool things: the land watch hack, direct mail swipe file, my wholesale contract, my land option contract, my motivated seller scripts, my due diligence checklist, my land agent helper tools, and my land profit calculator. This is brand new. This is free, where you get that spreadsheet I just showed you, and you get access to another software that I created on helping you create offers, and it's free. So if you can check it out, and go to simplelandkit.com, simplelandkit.com. And for Jerry's videos, just go to YouTube, do a search for Jerry Norton. We release these videos. They're really good. I'm going to be doing them again also for my own channel. And I've been very, very pleased with the feedback, and everybody's been saying that they're really good. And the next 5 videos, man, it blows me away. I can't believe I gave away all this stuff for free. We talk about how we contact the sellers. We talk about what we say to them. We talk about how to make offers. We talk about how to sell the deals, how to evaluate them, and all that stuff. We go through a ton of information. The crazy thing is, when I flew to Puerto Rico to hang out with Jerry and do these videos. We spent a whole day doing just the videos, and then I flew in the day before, spent the day with him doing videos, and then played pickleball that night. The next day we went iguana hunting. I got a picture of me holding some iguanas that I can't show you because it's offensive to people with sensibilities. But we hunted these iguanas and had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Unless you're an animal rights lover, and it was not fun. It was horrible. But anyway, that whole time I was in Puerto Rico, I was having heart palpitations. My hearts were like fluttering, and it kind of freaked me out, but I wanted to get these videos done for you guys. So when you watch those videos of me in Jerry's office, I was having these heart palpitations. It was freaky. And I played pickleball with Jerry that night, and I thought I was just drinking too much coffee. But whatever, then we got home, and then I flew with my family to Austin, Texas. And that's when we called the doctor, and the doctor said, you need to go to urgent care. Fast forward a week, I'm having open heart surgery to replace my little valve called the aorta valve. And it's all good now, right? But crazy. All right, so having said all that, I'm going to wrap this up. Let's just see if there's any more questions here. Where can we find your land offer spreadsheet? Simplelandkit.com. Simplelandkit.com. Then you'll get it. Good question, Reginald. Appreciate all the kind words here. And I've got some of Jerry's viewers here watching this right now. Awesome. Jacoby, Reginald, maybe, Aguapo, Apupo. Who else? Yes, Soldier of Yah. I'm not sure who you are, but that's cool. Any other questions, guys? Oh, Jacoby is in the St. Louis area. Very nice. And she learned, Jacoby learned about me from Jerry Norton's videos. Okay, cool. Let's just see if there's anything else I want to show you guys. That's You want to do another one real quick? This is an older one that I probably have already reviewed, but I just did not mark it as reviewed. Okay. Let's look at it. I'll share my screen with you guys. I'll go through this one pretty fast. Whoa, look at that. I remember this one. Oh my gosh. We spent a lot of time looking at this one. All right, look at these plot maps. What the what? You ever seen anything like this before? This is in Colorado. Yeah. We spent a lot of time looking at this deal. I'm not going to go through this one again because this, if you're interested, go to my YouTube channel and look at some of my older videos where I might have reviewed this. I don't know. This is a very, very weird deal. Like this terrain, it's on the side of a mountain. And this one was crazy. Let's look at 3D here. There's no road access. It's like mineral rights. A lot of people around here sell the mineral rights and not the land itself. So anyway, what if we looked at a deal we just made an offer on? I'll show you kind of how we came up with an offer. Let me look one up here. Or this could be a new one that we need to make an offer on. Hold on here. All right, this is an offer that this is a property near Bolivia, North Carolina. The seller lives in Blacklick, Ohio. Let me pull up the APN number here and see if it comes up. Okay, let's look at this property. I'll share my screen. This seller is asking for an offer. We sent a neutral letter. We didn't send a blind offer. We sent a neutral letter. It just says, hey, do you want to sell your property? And it was just a letter or a postcard. But anyways, I think it was a letter. They said, hey, if you want to sell your property, text or call this 24-hour recorded voicemail. This person did. And so now we're looking at it. We need to evaluate it. And it's a half acre. Okay. Let's look at the GPS coordinates. Where would I find that? Okay, hold on 1 second here. Here they are. GPS coordinates. Just to confirm, this is a half acre. Okay. All right, you see my map here? Oh, looks like wetlands might be an issue here. I see a river or a lake or something. Zoom out just to see where this is in North Carolina. Ah, yeah, this is close to the ocean, south of Wilmington, north of Charleston. It's a really hot market right now. This seller said, yeah, I want to sell. Here's a lot right there. Okay. First thing I want to do though is look at I want to look at floodplain. I'm going to go back to id.land, map right. I want this work. Come on, here we go. Land ID. I'm just going to decide to call it land ID. I don't like calling id.land. Create new map, North Carolina. Get started. All right, let's look it up by latitude, longitude. Paste, cut, paste, go. All right, there's the property right there. I turn parcels on, zoom in. This is the property right there. Okay. Alphonse Verret owns it. And when did they buy it? Don't know. They bought it in 2005. They bought it for $219,000. Really? Well, it's obviously in a subdivision. This isn't going to be a recreational property where somebody goes hunting or camping. This is somewhere where they're going to buy. And one of the things I'm looking for is like, are there other houses nearby? Kind of doesn't look like it, does it? If I go to Google Maps, satellite, you know, is there any other home construction here? Maybe over here there's some. Is that deal killer? I don't know, but makes me a little nervous. Why aren't they building any homes out here? Why aren't they building more? Maybe it's a new subdivision, but this was purchased in 2005, right? Let's go back to ID land ID. I want to look at those FEMA flood maps and stuff, right? So I click overlays, FEMA floodplain. Ah, look at that. Not a deal killer, but this could explain why there's nothing built there yet. It may just mean that the house can't be, you know, can't have a basement. Maybe, I don't know. Has to be built on stilts, but this may be a deal killer. Let's also look at, let me turn FEMA floodplain off. Let's look at wetlands. It's close to an area of wetlands. Boy, I don't know. Let's see what the comps are in the area. So here I am at Google Maps. I need an address. I want to look this property up on Redfin. I need an address. Looks like there's one right here. 600 Bendigo Passage. Copy that address. Let's go to Redfin. Let's search. There's the property right there. Sometimes you can get history on this. Like if you go to sales tax history, sale history, there's no records. I have a feeling the seller did not. Land ID says this seller bought it for $219,000. I kind of doubt it. I really don't think they did. Let's look real quick here. I'm going to copy this parcel ID and let's look on LandGlide. Oh, I had it right there, didn't I? All right, let's look at County Link right here. Takes me to the county website. Brings up that property. Zoom to it, maybe. Do the owner's name. Parcel photo, what is that? I don't see anything here. Zoom to, is this all the information I get? Let's look at the 2023 tax card. A lot of information here. Don't understand it. Trying to see what the land value of the property they're saying is 6,200. Sometimes when you see on something like this, it says they bought the property for 219,000. Usually that's like, maybe it might've been the developer who bought that whole area for 219,000. Doesn't mean they bought that property. All right, so back here to Redfin. This is the property right here. It's off market. Redfin says it's worth about 16 grand. Let's click on this map. Puts the property right there in the middle. Let's click on nearby homes for sale. Okay. Our property's in the center of this map right there. I'm going to click on home type, land. Done. Sort this from low to high. And I'm going to do a filter of lot size. Let's do lot size minimum quarter acre. Let's do maximum 1 acre. All right. These are active listings, right? Let's zoom out. Now I have a bunch of them. Remember, our property is right in the center of this map. It's right there. So when I zoom in and out, we're good. Now I have 12 properties, priced low to high. Let's do high to low and just make sure we don't see any like $100,000 properties in there. Because if we do, you just put a maximum of, whatever in there. Let's do maximum 50,000, just in case. Low to high. All right, so you see there's a half acre for 7,500, quarter acre for 12,000. Okay, let's look at solds. Solds. Last 3 months. Ooh, 3 of them. Let's do last 6 months. Last year. All right. So in the last year, there's only been 8 properties that have sold in this area. If I zoom out a little more, now we got 15. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, I have one of the things, if you go to simplelandkit.com, simplelandkit.com, I'm going to show you something because I'm going to give you guys, I don't know how long this is going to be free. If you go to simplelandkit.com, I have a software in there. I'm going to give you access to it. If you put your name and email in, it's going to be emailed to you. And this is my buddy Sam doing a video for me. When you go check your email, hang on a second here. When you check your email, you'll get an invitation to get it. And there's going to be a software in there. Okay, so you're going to be sent to a page that looks like this. Start. You're going to get this Land Flippers Toolkit. And you're going to get Land Profit Calculator. All right, you're going to get sent to a link like this. This is very unfancy, but this is what it is. And so you can put some information in here. Let me make sure you guys see this screen. Yeah, okay, good. If you have a letter reference ID, put that here. APN parcel ID for this property was seller's name. Copy, paste. Seller's mailing address. copy, paste. I'm just going to cut and paste some things here. Cut, paste, Ohio. I'm just pasting that in there. All right, sometimes you got to mess with it a little bit. In fact, let's do this. Sometimes I just paste the whole address into Google, and then Google either on Redfin or Google Maps will kind of correct the address for me. This is the owner's mailing address. So let's put that in here. Okay. Cut, paste. Okay, so I've got it, I got the seller's mailing address. Property address is, I'm gonna copy that. Let's put it in Google. And here it is in Google Maps. Right now I can copy the address from here. It just kind of fixes the addresses for you. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm gonna cut, paste this in, cut, paste. All right, good. Boom, there you go. What county is this in? Good grief. Oh, Brunswick. It is 0.51 acres. Is that right? 0.5 acres. Realtor name, if any, if MLS number, if any, you put that there. Okay, next. This is where I'm going to make some offers based on comps. Okay. So I could kind of do what I did before with the Pebble tool, or I could just, or you could go through it manually one at a time. So you could say, all right, 5,500. Well, let's see here. First was, these are active comps, based on active comps here. So I go back here, go to active for sales, 25 of them sorted low to high. I can manually go in and just do each of these one at a time. 7,500.49 acres. Okay, 7,900.49 acres. It gives me a price per acre. To the next one, 10,000.48. Next one, 12,000.4. Would you see the mistake I did there? A little better. Next one, 12,000.27. 12,000.27. Did I do that right? Okay, let's do one more. 13,500.47. 13,000.47. Now I have my average price per acre of 28,024. But you could also go here to Redfin and do that Pebble scraper tool. I don't know if you see this. Let me get my whole desktop here. Okay. So in Redfin, I click on the Pebble scraper tool, clear all, save all. My median price per acre is 53,191. That's really high, isn't it? So what you could do is you could just copy that number and in here, put it right here. But let's just stick with what I'm doing here. All right, never mind. Now we have the average price per acre for those lowest 5 active comps, 28,000 an acre. I'm going to discount that 80%, and I'm going to offer 25%. It's half acre. So my value based on active comps, I'm going to sell this thing for about 11,200, which means I'm going to offer about 2,800. Now you can offer 35% if you want. So I'll offer 3,900. Right. So now let's look at sold comps. I'm going to go back here to Redfin. Let's look at solds in the last year. Good. And we're starting with the lowest one. So 5,500.6 acres. 5,500.6. I'm going to move this over here so it's not so far away. 5,500.36. 6,000.4. 6,000.68. And let's do one more, 6,000.45. All right, so now I have an average price per acre based on sold comps of 12,320, which before for actives we had 28,000. Now we have 12,000. I'm not going to discount that, and the offer discount, let's offer 35%. All right, so now based on sold comps, let's do 25% here on both of these. Offer discount 25%. So my value based on sold comps is 6,100. Offer based on sold comps is that. So here we go. I've got values based on the active comps of 11,000, values based on sold comps of 6,100. Ah, boy, looking at this thinking, what should I do? Well, let's look at actives. I want my property to be the cheapest one here, right? So I'm just looking at this thinking, this guy is asking 7,500. Why would somebody want to pay 10 grand for mine when they can buy this one for 7,500? 10 grand. So I want to sell mine for, I want to list mine. Let's just look at this one real quick here. I bet you anything this is on a wetland too. You see that river right there? Let's see how long this one's been on the market. 55 days. Okay. But when I sell mine, I'm going to sell mine with owner financing. I'm going to get more interest than they are. So I'm going to price mine at about 6,900. Let's price mine for 6,900. You see what I'm kind of doing there? I'm looking at based on these active comps, based on sold comps. I'm going to list mine at 6,900. And I want to make a minimum of $7,500. This isn't going to work, is it? And if I pay a realtor 10% commissions and I pay 750 in closing costs and I have 250 in realtor money and I'm borrowing private money, so I'm going to pay, $1,000, $750 in interest. My offer is going to be negative 3,000. So this may be a deal we should pass on, or just offer the seller $1,000. Probably what I would do. If my minimum profit, if I wanted to make 5 grand on this deal, I paid a realtor, I had closing costs. Let's say I use my own money. Yeah, this says if I want to make a minimum of $5,000 wholesale fee, I should offer $210. Well, now I have 3 different offers, don't I? I have an offer based on active comps of 2,800, offer based on sold comps of 1,500, and an offer based on minimum profit of $210. So the way I built this software is there's 3 different ways to come up with offers: active comps, sold comps, and minimum profit on a deal. So what offer I'm going to make? I'm going to make an offer for $500. Are there any back taxes owed? No. So I'm going to make them an offer and it expires on the 14th. If I wanted to offer seller financing, I might offer them more. I might offer 2 grand. I'll put 10% down. I'll pay them 6% interest over 5 years. So I'll pay them $17 a month. Let's do 2.5 years. Let's do 2 years. I'll pay them $40 a month for 2 years. And let's pay them 10% interest. It's not going to matter. So I could say, all right, I'll pay you 500 cash, or I'll pay you $1,000 with seller financing. And I'll do 25% down. No, let's do 10% down. In fact, what if we made it a little bit? Let's offer them 2.5. Hang on a second. Let's offer them. I can't see this. This should say 3. There you go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll offer them 500 cash, or if they want to do seller financing, I'll offer them 1,500 seller financing, 10% down. I'll pay them 10% interest for 5 years. So my principal and interest payments to them will be $28. What are you thinking, Joe? Why are you doing that? Because I'm going to turn around and sell it with owner financing and probably get $150, $200 a month. So I'll be making cash flow about $150 a month in cash flow on this deal, maybe. You know, when I click submit, the software will give you 3 things: a cash offer, a 2-option letter of intent, which has the cash offer and seller financing offer, and or an email to realtors if you want to do that. If I click here, and let me click there, so now I have 2 Word documents. And you get this for free, again, if you get access to it at simplelandkit.com, simplelandkit.com. So let me go here to Word as soon as it opens up. It always takes a long time. Okay, so this is the letter that pops up. And you can go ahead and send this to the seller. Got your information in here. Here's the 1-page purchase and sale agreement. This is just for cash offer. Okay. And you can send it to the seller. You can also, here is the 2-option letter of intent. This is your information here, seller's information there. It says, hey, Alphonse, I'm following up on our conversation for your half-acre lot near Bolivia in Brunswick County, North Carolina. If you're still interested in selling it, we might still be interested in buying it. Here are some different options we could possibly offer you: 500 cash or $1,500 seller finance. Call me if you're interested. Cool. And then the other thing this software gives you is an email that if this property was listed with a realtor, it gives you an email like right here that you could just copy and paste this. It puts the realtor's name right there and says, hey, if I'm going to make them a cash offer, it's probably going to be rejected. I would need to be around 500 bucks. But I can offer more if your client would accept payments over time with owner financing. They wouldn't consider that, would they? Here's what I maybe could offer with owner financing. So this is an email you could copy, paste, send it in your email to the seller. Again, to get that software, I think it's pretty amazing. You can go to simplelandkit.com. Please excuse the obnoxious picture. I need to change that. But go to there and get it for free. Cool. All right, let's wrap this up. Let me see if there's been any questions typed in the chat here real quick. Do you ever do assignments of contracts for these types of land deals? Yes, we just did 2 of them, 2 big ones in Florida, where each of our assignment fees on each of them were about $23,000. And we're doing another one right now. We're trying to do an assignment. We're trying to do an assignment for a $70,000 assignment. We'll see. Don't know about that. Joe, which are the main land websites or apps that you recommend for using in your land investing, either paid or free? Go to simplelandkit.com, and I actually walk through some of the sites that we use. The main one is a bunch of them. FreedomSoft is my main website for my CRM and doing all my direct mail. FreedomSoftJoe.com to get the custom Joe McCall signature edition of FreedomSoft. FreedomSoftJoe.com. I get my lists from Priced, P-R-Y-C-D. If you just go to joemccall.com/priced. I use LandWatch a lot, which is free, land.com or landwatch.com. I use MapRight, which is now called Land or ID.land. I use that a lot. To find my realtors to list my properties, I use sometimes I use brokerless.com, broker, L-E-S-S, brokerless.com. Or sometimes we just go into the MLS and find the active realtors and call them. There might be one or two other tools, but FreedomSoft is the main one to manage all my leads and then priced to get our lists. Okay, Michael's got a burning question. Do you still make low offers based below what the owners paid for the property? Would that really happen if they're still paying on it? Yeah, the cool thing, Michael, you got to remember is when we're making land offers, these are vacant lots, and these sellers do not have mortgages on them. They paid cash for them. So all the time we make offers that are less than what they bought them for. So they don't have a mortgage. You don't have to worry about them still owing the bank money. That's the great thing about land. 99.9% of these vacant lots don't have any mortgages on them. So it doesn't matter at all. It's not like a house where you have to worry about that. And the other cool thing is the seller is a lot more detached from a vacant lot than they are from a house. And so it's easier for them to accept a low ball price like what we make. Jacob Jacoby's got another question. For these same size land lots, recreational or residential? So I don't care if it's recreational or residential. I used to only go for recreational land where you could go hunting and camping and things like that. But we've done a bunch of deals recently that are residential lots, that are little quarter-acre lots. I just care about demand. I want to go into the states and into the counties where there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of people buying and flipping or selling land. A lot of people buying land. And then I look and see, all right, well, is it residential land or is it recreational land? I don't care. You do have to sometimes look at, you want to make sure you're not in areas where a lot of land is selling for under, let's say, $20,000, because then it makes it harder to get your minimum wholesale profits on those deals. And so if you're in Seattle, you know, what I would do if you're in Washington State, Michael, is look at when you compare, you know, which state on the western half of the United States has more vacant land lots being sold? Is it Oregon, Washington, or California, Idaho? So look at all of those states, and I don't know if you will find that you just want to follow the demand, right? So if you want to stay in Washington, which counties in Washington have the most sold vacant lots? And that's where you want to focus on. It doesn't matter that if in Seattle, the lots cost over $100,000, it doesn't matter. So instead of making offers at 25 cents on the dollars, maybe your offers will be 40 to 50 cents on the dollar, okay? Find out where the demand is. If you want to focus on Seattle doing vacant land, find out where are people buying vacant land in Seattle. We got to wrap this up. I got to go. Appreciate you guys so much. And we're gonna end this now.